I'm super excited to jump into some more DC animated Justice League talk. Last week did Justice League War Theological Analysis. Now it's time to dive into the sequel, Justice League Throne of Atlantis. Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and this is my theological analysis for Justice League Throne of Atlantis. I really do love these DC animated Justice League movies, War being my favorite, but I forgot how much I really liked Throne of Atlantis till watching it this time through and watching it for more detail to analyze it theologically, and so it was really exciting to dive into this. This was the first DC thing that ever made me excited about the character Aquaman. I saw this just as they were starting to release promotional pictures of Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and so I didn't know much about Aquaman, so then I saw this movie, and this got me excited about the character and the possibilities and the places they could go with this character. But one of the things that I really like about what they do with Aquaman, with Arthur Curry here in Throne of Atlantis, is they've made this movie about identity, accepting your identity, and what that means. Now, Arthur Curry is lost, and he's lost because he feels an emptiness inside. What that emptiness is this faint echo of a call to this other world, this other kingdom that he belongs to, and he doesn't realize he belongs to it. I mean, he's got clues. He loves water. He's, kind of powerful. And one time, he saw the faint outline of his mom in the water. So he dives in. There she is. She kisses him on the forehead, gives him a hug, and then uses her Atlantean magic and sends him back up to shore, and boom, that's it. So he's just raised by his dad here on this earth. So he knows he's in this world, but he knows he's not of it. He knows there's another kingdom that he was born for, that he was meant for, but he doesn't even know enough to say, I was born for it and I was meant for it. He just feels that emptiness, that longing, that faint echo of a call that he belongs somewhere else. And he doesn't entirely know what that means yet. And so when his dad passes away, this kind of just hurtles him into this place of loneliness and darkness, of not knowing, where do I belong and where do I fit in? I mean, he knows he's got powers and stuff, and here the Justice League rises up, but he feels no need to run over there and join the league and stuff like that. He's just lost. And so in his sadness, in his depression at the beginning of this movie, I mean, he's drinking a lot and all kinds of stuff. And to me, that just strikes me as how we feel and go through life a lot of the times. Because a lot of us feel an emptiness, and we try to fill it with all kinds of different things. Sometimes filling it becomes kind of an addiction, whether that be an addiction to drugs or alcohol or porn, or whether it's an addiction that drives us into other things, or, we constantly think if we can make more money, have more success, we constantly try to fill that because what we're trying to find is our identity in that place of belonging. And so knowing we're not where we belong just yet creates that sense of emptiness, and so we start pursuing it the wrong way, kind of like Arthur Curry looking to numb himself. He's pursuing it the wrong way. It takes somebody else coming into his life to reveal to him who he is, he's got a destiny, and where he belongs. So this is Mira's role. Mira, who eventually becomes the wife of Arthur Curry and rules along his side. She comes to him when he gets attacked by these weird trench creatures, literally from the deep dark trenches of the ocean. These weird fish frog trench creatures come up to attack Arthur Curry. Now this is a great revelation to Arthur Curry. He's got enemies. How could he have enemies? He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know where he belongs. But there is an enemy who knows who he is, who knows he has royal blood in him, and knows the throne of Atlantis rightfully is his. So because there's an enemy, Orm, who knows this, he's betraying the queen and sending out dark armies to go destroy Arthur Curry. It takes Mira showing up to save him from this and then taking him down to the ocean and showing him Atlantis. So she shows him this underwater kingdom, this kingdom of people that he didn't even know existed. She explains to him who his mother is, how he was born, what his heritage is. And because he is this queen's son, he is a royal heir. So that throne of Atlantis, because he was the firstborn, that throne belongs to him by right of birth. So he was born for a whole different identity. Here he is living out a life of, I don't know where I belong, walking around in confusion, but now he's seeing a truth that he was more than he ever dared to believe, and that he was born for something greater than he ever knew. What it took was Mira coming to him at the right time in his life and showing him this other kingdom that he belongs to. And again, to me, this just mirrors our walk in life, that we walk around feeling that sense of emptiness. I don't belong here. I've tried to go there. I don't belong there. Where do I belong? But the truth is, we are made in God's image. We are made in his likeness. So that means we belong with him. We belong a part of his world. In a sense, we're sons and daughters of the King, so we have royal blood flowing through our veins. We believe in Jesus and accept him. We are given the right to become children of God. Then you have 1 Peter 2:9, that we are a chosen people, a royal priesthood. I mean, that's a weird saying, right? A royal priesthood. I think that's the reminder that we are sons and daughters of the King, that we do belong to him. And the priesthood part, what does that mean? That means we don't need a go-between between us and God. Jesus tore down that wall, and when we have that relationship with him, he gives us that access to God directly, that we have that. And another thing it says in that Colossians verse is we are God's special possession. And what does that mean? It means we have belonging, that we belong in that relationship with him. We belong in that world with him. So just like Mira had to come to Arthur Curry to tell him he was this Aquaman, this king of Atlantis, that he had a destiny, he had a throne that was his by right, that, he has a destiny and a future. I mean, I'm here to tell you, you are made in God's image. You are made to be his child. And he's calling out to you right now to say, remember who you are. You are my child. Come and be a part of my world. Be a part of my kingdom. Be in that relationship with me, and I will give you that fullness in life. The next thing is Arthur Curry accepts his identity. So he accepts who he is, and he believes who he is. But Orm is not just going to take this, right? Orm is Arthur's enemy. Orm wants this throne. So what's he going to do? He's going to try to steal from Arthur his inheritance. He's going to steal from Arthur his identity. This is his goal, and this is his plan. A lot of times, we decide we're going to believe in God, and then suddenly things come into our lives to remind us of our past, to remind us that we're such screw-ups, to hit those chords of our insecurity, to try to drag us back down. That's like Orm with Arthur Curry. So what does that even mean? I mean, it's like the moment he accepts his identity, there was an enemy there waiting to try to steal it from him. That is so life, that when we realize who we are in Christ, when we realize our identity with God and how he made us, there is an enemy, the devil, who wants to go and steal that identity from us and stamp it out. So Arthur had to just rise up and believe and take his place. And this is how he's able to defeat Orm. And then once Aquaman takes that place that is his, he makes a choice. He makes a choice to join the Justice League because he wants to be an ambassador and a representative. He wants to have a foot in this world, in our human world. Not to be of it, but to be in it. To be a representative of this kingdom that he belongs to. Which, I mean, Jesus calls us a city on a hill. He calls us a light. In other words, we're supposed to be like Aquaman in a sense. We need to make that choice in that relationship with Jesus to be his representative on this earth, to be a bridge between God's kingdom and this kingdom so people can see God's kingdom. It's hard because when you look at Christians, I mean, yeah, they're so full of hypocrisy. And you know what? I bet you as we go on with the Justice League story, is Arthur going to make all the right choices as a king of Atlantis? Probably not. I mean, famously, DC stories are all about conflict. They're all about making wrong decisions and then learning from those decisions and making right decisions. But our identity is not rooted in our failure. Our identity is not rooted in our mistakes. Our identity is rooted in God. So we don't have to be overcome with guilt and condemnation. We don't have to be held back or pushed down by those mistakes. That we have redemption and we have a present help in time of need that can pick us up and move us forward from victory to victory, no matter how imperfect we are. I'm not perfect. But I know that having Jesus in my life, when I stumble, when I fall, his forgiveness is there. He is there to help me up and pick me up. And he continues to call me to be his representative, imperfections and all. You go through the heroes of the Bible, they are all full of mistakes. And even in their worst moments, God worked his good and turned things around. So no matter who you are and no matter where you are in life, not a single one of us is perfect, but what is awesome is the call that God has on our lives, that no matter how imperfect we are called to be that representative of him. We are called to reflect his light in this world and be a bridge between his kingdom and this kingdom. So when you saw Justice League, Throne of Atlantis, what were your thoughts towards this movie? Be sure to let me know in the comments. What is your favorite superhero animated movie, DC, Marvel, or otherwise? Let's talk about that in the comments. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Next to the subscribe button is the bell. Click it. That way you're notified the moment I drop other theological analyses, movie reviews, my comic book reviews that I've been doing that have been really fun. I can't wait to dive into, Earth 1 Volume 3 of Superman. I'm super excited to dive into things like that. So hit that bell so you're notified when all these videos drop. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.